Okay, we're back doing some work on the Great Circle. We're heavily into our debugging of the Trinity system, which is the world system that determines where entities are, where resources are, and it does so in a way that allows it to keep track of thousands and thousands and thousands and continue to do math on whether something is growing, whether it is surviving, all the stuff that you don't see that simulates that part of that system. And right now we're still debugging the placement, which you can see with the white lines where the world is telling me it is considering an area where things should be. And it's telling me where it's putting certain things. And right now we got some flowers that don't show up, or maybe they're under the map. Let me see. This is just an adjustment thing. Now we got broken flowers for some reason. We'll be finding out soon what that reason is. It's not doing it all the time. Hey, what's up, Rissicle? Looks fire, thank you. We're also working on the sprint for the Impala. Trying to make it like stretch its body a little bit more when it runs. Kind of doing that in between. So it is, you can notice that it's reaching out more than it used to. I want to get the back legs to do that as well. Okay, none of the flowers showing up. The clustering looks right. The world is putting them in clusters the way you kind of would expect. So this would be like an area where you go and you can feed on some flowers. The yellow is flower. I'm not seeing any grass. Grass would be the green. Let me just see if there's an error popping up in the engine. Then we'll turn on the animal thing too, so it'll show us the animals. What's going on with these flowers? Yeah, we're getting some kind of errors here. I just don't know which particular flower it is. I'm gonna just limit this proven one. I thought it might be the cornflower, but I don't know if it is. We're gonna have to make a little test array here. I'll just only keep the ones that I know work. And we'll just add them in one. We know the white flowers work. We know the yellow flowers, the buttercup flowers work. Purple ones, desert daisies, blazing stars. These should all work actually. Not totally sure what's going on. Let me do something. I got an idea. Go to the reservoir. Well, I feel like it's going to be this issue here. This thing here causing the issue. I think I have a logic error. Let's see if I'm right. This is only going to add the thing. What the Trinity is supposed to do, this is what I'm calling it, Trinity. But what it's supposed to do is It's only supposed to bring resources in for the player's viewing when the player is close enough. We got a male Impala this time, that's why we got the horns. Horn's supposed to be invisible this slow, this early. Supposed to let me get close to one of these. It's supposed to bring them near only when you're close enough. They exist, but if you go away, they're supposed to like disappear. So they only calculate in the background what's happening. But it's not supposed to. It's not supposed to waste the computing power. It has stuff in waiting, like that can like basically it keeps a little bank full of stuff already preloaded. So it's supposed to efficiently just pull from that bank until it runs out of resources. Like if you're in a resource heavy area, that didn't fix it. And it's supposed to create something new, but that takes computing power. You don't want to have to do that while the player is playing because they will notice a little hitch. So it's doing a good job of placement, but now where is the damn flowers? Are they under the map? They're not under the map. That's weird. I'll go back and put sunflowers only. Let's see if it does sunflowers only. And you got varieties of flowers. You got different little species so that we can give you different benefits for eating different flowers. You eat sunflowers, you get energy. You eat the dandelions and your water. You conserve water faster or for longer. Some flowers should make you grow faster. Some flowers should heal you from status effects and things like that. You'll be able to tell by eye which flower you're eating. This matters to herbivore characters, not so much to the carnivores. Although I want the carnivores to be able to eat flowers too for like status effect healing. Like what if you get bitten by a snake? And there should be like some anti-venom properties. Right, so sunflowers seem to not have an issue. The clustering looks right. Some of them could be a little closer together though. I think if we go near the other areas, you won't get these little lines in these little visual helpers in the actual gameplay. This is for testing, but I want the player to be able to just kind of rely on their sight. So you have to actually look at the flowers to see what's edible. Generally, what I'm thinking is if it's green, you should be able to eat it. But if it's brown or if it's dead, that should just be just scenery. But I think like anything you should, I think all of this should be edible to something. But we're not going to do the thing where you can just endlessly eat stuff. I want it to like be stuff that you can pick up and devour. Once you eat it all the way, it's gone until either it respawns or it's just completely gone. Okay, here's that the sunflowers are fine. 1,000? And 1,000. All right, let's see. Let me double check my scaling. All right, and let's go. Okay, now we're going to test a here. Now we're going to add the other thing that I know works, which is white flower. See if we get any empty. No, the white flowers work. What else do I know works? Might as well add the desert. Savannah daisies. Those work. Too, and then let's see if we can find an empty flower spot. How many animals do you plan to add? There's no limit, really. Initially, I was wanting just whatever is actually running around in Africa to be in the game, regardless of what the region is. If it's like North Africa versus South Africa or the eastern end of the continent, I wanted anything. But no. Because it's the game takes place in like a fictional location, so there's room for being true to your own story, so to speak. Let's see, there's white flowers here. So this is the white flower patch, because you're gonna get nothing but white flowers in this particular spawning here. But when we go to the next one, next little area over here, should be a different, should be one of the 3 or 4 species that I picked. Let's see what's over here. These are the desert savannas, or desert daisy, savanna daisies. So these are all edible. They're green, they stand out among all the other dry stuff, so you know you can eat it. Find some, there's some spawning over here. We have a bunch of good creatures in the game right now, both playable and AI. We're like well over 100 species at this point in time. I have a stacking issue right here. Double check the distance. Clustering is good there. Maybe we can increase the minimum distance so we won't get this stacking. 2 right here, top of each. Yeah, but I don't have a specific number because I want to put as many species in the game as I can. And, you know, over time, I just expect the thing to be able to grow. But I want them all to have like a minimum level of playability or minimum level of quality. Like they can't be in the game if they can't, like, they don't have like the necessary minimum animations, for example. Like we have bamboos that I haven't really or not bamboos, baboons that I haven't animated yet. So I can't put them in, and I also have other species that haven't animated yet. But we got lions, we got we have leopards, we have elephants, rhinos, impalas, springbok, warthogs. How many? Will you add any birds? Yeah, actually, we have birds. We have probably more bird species than anything else, actually. Technically, I think that's always been the most numerous species because they're so, avians are so easy to just add to the game because they don't actually have to be fully playable, and they make good AI. So we got sparrows, we got robins, we got fish eagles, we got golden eagles, we got secretary birds. That's been in for a while. Let's go back to this. Put this back on. Let's see, did I get any? I'm not getting any errors when I do it. Force them to just add only. So in that case, turn it back on the way it should be. I have to fix that anyway. Next, I'm going to add the purple flowers. I don't remember what the species they are, so I'm just going to say they're honeysuckles. I don't actually know if that's what they look like. Hey, what happened? I was supposed to be a secretary bird. I'm a zebra. Oh. This is... what the heck? I think the game thinks I'm a secretary bird. Because I was gonna show a bird since you asked about the birds. This is weird. Yeah, it thinks I'm a secretary bird. Look at that. That's crazy. How did this happen? I don't know what happened. This is why the camera's off and everything. Look at the camera. It's up like below its ass level. And this is a fat zebra. Why am I so fat? I guess I haven't opened this character in a while, so if at some point I messed around and switched the body mesh, I didn't notice it because I would have put it back if I messed that up. Wow. So weird. Can I fly? No. What do I think I am? Let me see. The scent's not showing up either. It's like these little white boxes. It thinks I'm a secretary bird. Yeah. Those are secretary bird scent boxes. That is... see if the flowers have... I don't think I'll be able to sense them because I'm a... wait, I should be able to sense them because I'm a herbivore, but it thinks I'm a carnivore. So now that's why I'm not getting the flower symbol. Here, I'm just curious. Let me see what happened with this. Well, it looks like the asset itself is fine. No, here it is. It's a zebra. How did that happen? It's showing a zebra, though it's showing the secretary bird, and that's fucking weird. I might have some corrupted data here. Yeah, I do. Pause the backup. Corrupt data. Server. Let me see. Why am I seeing this if it's not a zebra? Maybe this is because of the construction strip. Let's break it. That is weird. One more idea, and I'm just gonna have to fix this off screen. Maybe I by default have the zebra set for the dynamic model switching, and maybe that's what's happening. But yeah, I want there to be like different animals to support different play styles, because I'm imagining a very rich ecosystem where there's kind of a play style for every kind of type of player, I guess. You want action, there's lions and cheetahs and stuff, and you want defensive, slow moving gameplay. Be a rhino or elephant. If you want to just look at the scenery because you just want to chill, you can be like a tortoise. A bunch of different options. Yep. Okay, I see what happened. So I have a zebra. I have this new thing. It's part of Trinity, and it will let me. It basically. I don't know how to explain, but it automatically makes the game adjust the body of the creature to terrain and surrounding stuff automatically without me having to manually do it for every character, which is important because there's a lot of characters. When I come up with like a new mechanic or something like that, I don't want to have to go and open up each and every character and add the mechanic or copy and paste it because that takes time and it's inefficient. But what this does is it basically can find the right proportions for no matter what the character is. So it'll always place them on the ground, for example. It'll always scale the body for the growth system that I have. And unfortunately, I guess I just happened to have been doing zebra at the time. So it set that as the default mesh for each one. But yeah, I looked in Secretary Bird and it is automatically, it's set to zebra. So we're gonna change this. And I guess I'm gonna have to go to each one and put the right mesh in just one time for all, once and for all. And then after that, I won't have to do it anymore. But that's like going into each and every, that's like 100 and, well, let's see how many is on the list here. Let's see. So technically there are 159 species the game sees in the game. Whether they are in the game available for AI or available for playability or not. This is how long the list is of different creatures I've added. It's 150 now. I should include that beyond just some of these not being accessible, and they're just basically for development and in the background, some of them are actually not part of the Great Circle. They're part of the brother and sister, the sibling games that we're making based on the Great Circle. So the Great Before is basically the same thing as the Great Circle, but it's dinosaurs. And then the other thing I have is the Great Pacific, which is the same thing, but like water animals only. Which is awesome because if we get it right on the Great Circle, or once we build the system working for the Great Circle and the game is working okay, it just maps onto the other versions. So it's like you get the same gameplay, the same mechanics, and I don't have to rebuild it for each other thing. And it's just basically, if you like dinosaurs, then you get the dinosaur experience, and then if you like underwater or ocean life, you just get the same thing but ocean, which is cool. I'm just kind of surprised I didn't notice this before. I'm just gonna only do it for Secretary Bird just once because I wanted to see it fly. Where is my material? Oh, got other issues here. Forgot about, I got like different channels for the feathers. Last but not least, forgot to make a material instance for this. Go, save that. Good to go. Oh, last thing, pick the right animation set. Secretary Bird animation. There we go. So it should work fine now. There we go. Now I'm the Secretary Bird. I'm an adult secretary. But there is work to be done on Trinity hasn't added the thing where when I get near this tree it becomes something that I can land on. So right now I would fly right through it. It won't add the collision dynamically. But you should be able to land on it once everything's fine and work. Alright, so white flowers. Sunflowers. I don't see any empty ones yet. Looking good so far. Let me see if animal sources. I gotta get back over to the. Oh, look at that. Got a little issue going from flying to. Okay. So we're getting all those. But there's supposed to be a third type. Let's switch back to herbivore. Since the. And it looks like we didn't get any errors. Great. The correct track there. Okay, now that we know that those three work correctly, sunflower, white flowers, Savannah daisies, add another one. See if we can find which one is breaking. I know these other white flowers should work. Species they are. Do the purple one. I have a suspicion that those work fine. A couple more species. I think I might know which one. Problem. Let's add the test. Sure. Oh, we need a scent anim. White one. Oh, mushrooms. All right. Some of these have flower logo, flower symbol. What are we at? We're at now 1400. I wonder our frame rate's tripping out. Go and limit that. See how many resources we can handle. We want to keep it under 20 milliseconds. And let's see. I didn't see any empties. Let's go and put the tester.